Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, sticking around with Standard 2022, this time around playing some budget goblins. Let's take a look at the deck. So this budget goblins deck is actually pretty close to the regular goblins deck that is running around in Standard 2022. In fact, you could probably upgrade this deck for like somewhere around 8 to 12 rares and have a very powerful, competent standard aggro deck. Some of the cards in the deck, of course, we're playing 4 copies of Fireblade Charger, a 1/1 that has a great death ability that deals damage equal to its power to any target. Really good for taking out a creature that's, on 1 or 2 life, or maybe going face for just a little bit of reach near the end of the game. Goblin Javelineer, a 1/1 with haste, and when it gets blocked, it deals 1 damage to the creature blocking it. This is really powerful in the format right now because there are a lot of X1s running around, and it can be very hard for your opponent just to get off the field. And then Tin Street Cadet, 3 copies of this 1/1. When it gets blocked, it creates a 1/1 red goblin creature token. This card can be pretty great if you are able to trade with your opponent's creature with the initial cadet and then leave behind a 1/1 token. Just some great value. Next, we are playing 4 copies of the Hobgoblin Captain, a 2 CMC 3/1, has Pack Tactics. If we attack with creatures total power of 6 or greater, it gets first strike. The first strike can be nice, but it's not super relevant. Mostly we just want a 3/1 attacker. And then Battle Cry Goblin, we are certainly playing 4 copies of this card because this is the reason to be playing this deck right now. This is such an insane card from the newest set, and it is thankfully an uncommon. It is a 2/2 for 2 that has a great activator ability that says pay 1 in a red. Goblins you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until the end of turn. This is so fantastic on turn 4, turn 6. You can throw this down, activate the ability right away. You're probably going to be swinging with a couple of extra creatures on the field and a 3/2 Battle Cry Goblin. Then it has Pack Tactics. If you've attacked with total power of 6 or greater, you're going to create another 1/1 red goblin creature token that is tapped and attacking. Just so much value from this card, and I love everything about it. I'm so happy that they printed such a powerful, aggressive goblin at the uncommon level. Next, we are playing 4 copies of Hulking Bugbear, a 3/3 for 3 with haste. Very simple. One of the budget cards in the deck that can very easily be cut for something a little bit more powerful if you do want to upgrade this deck. Still, it's a pretty sweet little card on its own. Then we are playing 2 copies of Goblin Taskmaster, a 3/3 for 4 other goblins you control get +1/+1, and it has an activated ability to sacrifice a goblin to destroy an artifact. Now, this is the only rare in the deck, and the reason I'm playing this rare in particular in this budgetary deck is because I believe everybody has access to at least 2 copies of Goblin Trashmaster from like the new player intro decks that they offer on Arena. So if you have access to the Trashmaster, definitely throw it in. If you don't have it, you could just upgrade, maybe throw in another Tin Street Cadet, or maybe you throw in like another Goblin Morningstar. Let's talk about the Morningstar now. It is a 2 CMC equipment that gives a creature +1/+0 and trample, and then when it enters the battlefield, we get to roll a d20. On a roll of a 1 to 9, we create a 1/1 token, and on a roll of 10 to 20, so 55%, slightly more than 50, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token and attach the Morningstar to it. So more often than not, you're going to be making a 2/1 trample token. Next, you come to the Knoll Camp. This is a sweet little instant from the latest set as well. 2 CMC, 2 abilities on it. You can choose one. First one is Intimidate them. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. This is really good for just sliding in a little bit of extra damage near the end of the game. And then the other one is Fend them off. Target creature gets +3/+1 until the end of turn. Maybe it can be used to take out a very important creature that your opponent has, or maybe there is an unblocked goblin that you can pump up with 3 power and then swing in for like 4 or 5 damage and maybe end the game that way. And then another awesome uncommon from the latest set, you see a pair of goblins, an instant speed 3 CMC spell that has 2 abilities on it. First one you can choose is Charge Them. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until the end of turn. This is a great little overrun ability for 3. Probably we're going to have 4, 5, 6 creatures on the battlefield that are attacking, and if we can throw +2/+0 onto them, that's going to be a ton of damage the opponent probably can't deal with. And then the other ability on it is Befriend Them. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Instant speed, so it's pretty sweet on your opponent's end step. Just throw out a couple more goblin tokens and then maybe pump them up with a Goblin Trashmaster or a Battle Cry Goblin on your turn. And then we were playing 4 copies of Frostbite because while we need a little bit of interaction, I'm sure you're going to find targets for this card. It can't go face, but it's really great for taking out an annoying blocker that the opponent might have. And of course, we're playing Snow Covered Mountains because of Frostbite. That's the only reason. So this is the deck. Really, the upgrades that you could probably consider are Hobgoblin, Bandit Lord, really great Lord in the 3 slot, something that you could probably replace the Hulking Bugbear with. And then our lands can be upgraded a little bit. Of course, we have access to the Den of the Bugbear, a really great man land that just came out. And you also have access to Faceless Haven, which is technically a Goblin. You could throw that into the deck as well. If you want to get really cute, you could also explore things like Relic, Robber, pretty cool Goblin. So that's the deck. Going to jump into some games and see how they go. See you over there. All right, some budget goblins. See how they do. I expect good things from them. And I'm happy to be playing a goblin deck that is your traditional goblin deck. All right. So let's lead off with the Fireblade Charger. I could have put out the Cadet. I think they're probably about equal on turn 1. Sure. So, get in. Fine with that. And followed up with the Hobgoblin Captain. Unfortunately, not a Lord. Poor little guy. Opponent is on Simic, and that's kind of annoying because it does get in the way of my Lord. However, the Hobgoblin Captain's really interesting. You know what? The plan, I think, is pretty easy. I'm just going to flood out the board, pass the turn this time around, and then next turn we can go Mountain into Battlecry Goblin, pump it up, attack in with a lot of things. Not too worried about that, although the opponent will be able to trade both of the Innkeepers with my Battlecry Goblin if they choose to do so. Yeah. But we gotta stick with the plan. There's no way I can resist doing this. Love it. So much power out of some pretty simple uncommons and commons. Now I don't have to attack with the Battlecry Goblin. And you know what? It might actually be better to hold it back for now. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade off my Battlecry Goblin, especially since we're flooding out a little bit. I think I need to be dumping mana into it. I would have loved to have made a 1/1 token, but we'll hit them for 10. They are going to be gaining quite a bit of life from these Innkeepers, though, if they do have a couple follow-up creatures on this turn. Very happy that I get to be playing my Goblin Sleeves. Acquired these quite some time ago from a secret lair, and they don't get enough love. I absolutely love the art on this. So what do I want next turn? I think a 1-drop would probably be the best because I can play out the Snow Mountain, put out the 1-drop, do a double pump. Well, actually just attack and then do a double pump. If you do already have at least 6 power on the field, it's always better to attack with the Battlecry Goblin first, make that extra 1/1, and then pump up everything because the haste is not going to be relevant unless the 1/1 that I'm putting out doesn't have haste, like a Tin Street Cadet or the Fireblade Charger. The other Goblin, the Javelineer, will have haste on its own, and we can just attack naturally. So there are some little tricky things to be doing with the Battlecry Goblin. Sometimes it's okay just to pump once, then attack, and then pump again. Our opponent having some decisions to be made over there, I suppose. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they didn't like getting hit for 10 on turn 4. All right. So it looks like the opponent is done with it. And, well, that's fine. Okay. Well, that's not very exciting. All right. So we get a couple of triggers. We're pumping. All right. Still, I think it's pretty cool to illustrate the power of the Battlecry Goblin. I'm sure this game could have gone much differently if the opponent had played something out on turn 4, but it's all right. Gonna take the first win like that, go to the next game. All right, got match number 2 now. Hopefully we get an opponent that's a little bit more attentive. Who knows? Lots of things could have happened to our opponent there. Another great opening hand. In testing, the opening hands definitely went across a wide spectrum. I think I'm just going to play out the 1/1 attack in. Should have played it out after attacking, but it's alright. Elder Bank Disciple. I don't like that. I don't want to discard any of these cards. Alright. So just attacking with the Javelineer. If they block, the Javelineer kills it beforehand. I don't think they block here. No. And then I think, well, I could put out the you see a pair of goblins on their end step. But what I could also do is just put out a Battlecry Goblin and a Fireblade Charger and leave this as a pump spell for the following turn. It's a pretty good pump. I don't really like leaving this vulnerable, so I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and just put out the pair of goblins. Okay. So the opponent wants to see our hand. Oh, I got to submit 2 cards. If I do this, they certainly take the Battlecry Goblin. I don't like that. Leave my hand alone, opponent. Really annoying. I when it was coming down, I thought I saw that it was only 1 in the party, but of course they also have a cleric here. Definitely they take the instant speed spell. There's no way. Yeah. Well, in a bit of a spot now. All right, just pass. Not the best way to have things going, but we'll see. Maybe this can come up next turn. If we draw land, they don't disrupt us, then there are things. However, they're highlighting the Battlecry Goblin, and they are playing white and black. They're going to have some kind of removal for it, certainly. I can't get over how great this card is. Every time I see it on the field, it becomes such a threat. It is definitely a lightning rod. If you ever go up against this card, make sure you're murdering it. So the opponent is respecting it, that's for sure. Yeah, it feels bad to attack, but I think I don't have much of a choice. This is an okay little combat trick. We'll see how they end up blocking. Okay, so the Javelineer is going to trade with the Expert, and I could pump up the Hobgoblin just to keep it alive. I don't like doing this either, but... yeah. I think that is my only choice right now. I don't like that they have 5 cards. Oh no, 1/1s are a big problem for me. Alright. Oh, no, that was right to do. I was thinking I should have saved it, but no, I had to give this guy haste. So I've got to imagine they're jumping in front of the... Ooh, okay. Well, the first strike coming in handy here, if they do end up making this block. Okay. Ooh, good chunk, little chunk of damage there, and got a pretty good board that they're gonna have to deal with. However, they could have like Blood on the Snow here if they have a land. Okay, okay. We'll make 2 blockers. Still, we're gonna get the double pump here. Okay. So make the 1/1, and then we'll let them block first, and then we'll pump. They're gonna put 1 there, probably 1 in front of the captain. Oh. Are they dead? No, they're not. Oh yeah, they're dead. They're very dead. Very, very dead. Hmm. We still had an extra 3 points of damage there at the end from the Fireblade. Awesome. Next one. All right, match number 3. Let's hope this winning train can keep going. It was really lucky to draw that second Battlecry Goblin last game. Sure, opening hand looks okay. Opponent's going first this time, though. Not ideal for our aggro deck, that's for sure. But yeah, I can't believe the power of that Battlecry Goblin. You just, you could see if I could pump 4 mana into it, things get just out of control if you have a board that, 4 or 5 creatures wide. Okay. Sure, we'll go out with the Cadet this time. I wonder if this is an arena-only card. I'm actually not super sure if this is a existent paper. And that's the thing I'm kind of wondering. How do you feel about that issue right now? The idea of Historic Horizons introducing a lot of arena-only cards. Is it something that you care about, or you don't really mind? Me personally, I don't really know. I said that. I'm not sure if I said that in the intro or not, but I'm kind of torn on Historic Horizons right now. I don't know if it's... I think it's fine, but it's a lot of cards that are coming into the format, and it's really going to mess up the economy quite a bit. Yeah, I'm really... That's probably the part that's bothering me the most, and which is the reason why I'm actually doing a budget deck today. I've been thinking about what the cost of Historic Horizons is going to be, as far as like people that are on a budget or that only have 1 or 2 decks in Historic. Introducing 300 new cards kind of out of nowhere in a way that is very difficult to acquire them is kind of weird. Okay, so they had the saw coming for our pump spell. It's okay though, and just put as much power on the board as I can. This is probably a Dimir control deck that's missing their black. That's what I'm assuming is going on here. So hopefully they don't have access to the removal that they probably have in hand. Yeah, I think that's what ended up happening there. All right, well, that's going fast. I got a little bit rambly there and went on a bit of a tangent, but you still get the win. Let's go to the next one. All right, so unfortunately, again, this is going to be match 4 in this video, and I got another scuffed game. I'm not sure if it's my laptop, if it's something with Arena. It just happens to be this map that keeps doing this funky thing. So I think what I'm going to have to do going forward is probably just watch 4 games on this map and maybe cut them out of the video. Anyways, got the victory over Mono Green. Yeah, next one. All right, match number 5. So far, things are really going well, and I'm super happy that they are. In fact, I was earlier messing around with... I don't know if I like this. No, throw it away. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The deck has betrayed me finally. All right, that's okay. I guess we do that. No, you know what? Maybe that's better. I like the Javelineers. I was messing around earlier today with another budget deck. It's Boros equipment deck. And I was at like 96, 97% mythic, and I just plummeted down to 91, something like that. The games did not go well, to say the least. And I'm happy that I'm able to play a budget deck that is a little bit more powerful. I like the idea of doing budget equipment, but it's just not good enough. We might be in a bit of trouble here, but the mulligan down to 5, is what it is. Still, putting a lot of pressure on the opponent. If we draw well off the top, we'll be fine. Okay, so no, we're no longer fine. Hey, well... I don't know what I want to do here. So I could attack. If they block either one of my creatures, they'll die to the pump. Or the old growth troll will die to the pump, but then I'm ramping them quite a bit and not making my position any better. I think what I need to do is I need to make 2/1/1 goblins with this. Just go super wide and hope to find a lord. A lord in which I think I put on the bottom of my deck. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Okay. Uh-oh. Take 12, right? Not gonna win blocking a whole bunch of trampoline creatures. And a Goblin Morningstar is not the card that I need. So, that's it. Give him the old hearts. And I'm just gonna concede. Next one. All right, so sometimes you have to mulligan. It would be interesting if I could go back and keep that first hand of 7 with the 2 trash masters. Maybe it would have worked out, but I didn't have a good feeling about that hand, and the opponent had pretty good 1, 2, 3 drops. Yeah, they had pretty good curve all the way through because I think they started with the elf, right? This time around, pretty good opening for us. Definitely need to find the 3rd land, and if we do, certainly go super wide by turn 3, and then maybe turn 4 might be pumping up the team with this. Get in for 1. Hobgoblin Captain away. Haven't seen too many people playing Amiria's Call in 2022. It's pretty cool. Hey, that's what I wanted to see. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be 2 goblin tokens. Okay. War goblin tokens. So, I could attack and then pump up the team. Gonna end up getting at least 9 damage in at the worst. I could also just make more tokens. You know what? I think doing this is the best thing. Oh, I'm glad they blocked there. So we get rid of their Skullport Merchant and 9 damage in. All right, opponent, you need something big. Eye Twitch. Not bad. 2 Eye Twitches. Okay. Back to it. Opponent had a little bit of a rocky start, that's for sure. But that's clean. Exactly 20. Sweet. Next one. All right, 2 more to go with the budget goblins. This is a good deck. If you are looking to craft something nice and cheap, this is it. I think you can climb very quickly with this deck. I could put out the Javelineer, but I think I'm just going to Frostbite the Ghast. The Ghast is a very good card against our deck. I'm not going to Shock it now, or Frostbite it now, because I don't want to give them access to 3 mana in their second main phase. I'll just take the 1 damage, it's fine. Alright, that's fine too. Okay, pair of goblins. Let's get out the captain. A lot of our creatures are X1s, so if they have more Shambling Ghasts, it's going to be a problem for us. We don't have a whole lot of ways of pumping up the back end of our creatures. Things like Battlecry Goblin only giving extra power. Same with the Morningstar, only plus power. Okie doke. Gotta imagine they take the Battlecry Goblin. Yeah. Every time. Find that land. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load up the board. Put out the Morningstar, put out the Javelineer. I'll attack with the Javelineer. Oh. Too bad. And then set up for, I don't know, maybe a really big attack next turn with the pump. Maybe just make some 1/1s and then set up, you know, for something later on down the line with the Battlecry Gobbo. Sure. Sure. Yeah, Mascot Exhibition definitely seeing a lot more play than it was a little while ago. They're going to be able to play out the Mascot Exhibition. Wow. Wrong words. Mascot Exhibition. Next turn. Certainly with another land, they're going to be able to play it out. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get through. So if that's the case, then I have to go even wider. Although this is a really good pump. No, I think I got to go out with the Battlecry Goblin. All right. Yeah, I don't like my position right now. Things are looking sketchy. And, well, at least that puts them off of 1 treasure. So they can't do the exhibition this time. All right. I think I'm just ready to give up on this one. Because if they're just gonna go land Mascot and then next turn probably land Mascot, and that's not gonna work out. I've been seeing this deck a little bit more. It has a little bit of disruption, and then it has a really good learn package, and it's neat to see learn being played a little bit more than it was in regular standard. Now that, you know, things like Ikoria and not Ixalan. Oh my god, Ixalan's gonna stick around, right? I'm losing my mind. The Fairyland one, the one everybody hates. 100% blocking there. Oh, I love Fireblade Charger. Oh, all right. You know what? That's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. So they didn't end up having the lands for the mascot. Might still be all right if they go environmental sciences, play out a land this turn, and kind of pass. Might be all right, but they tap their mana very deliberately there, making, well, maybe they're just wanting to hold up the Faceless Haven mana. It's probably the case, yeah. Well, we can kill the Faceless Haven with the Null Camp. And if I can get the Faceless Haven off the field, set them back a little bit more mana. These mascots might end up getting stranded in their hand. I think they're considering that that's a possibility, and they don't want to risk the Faceless Haven. Eldraine. That's what I was trying to think of. Throne of Eldraine. Ugh. I've already banished it from my memory. Ooh. Well, things look bad. If we were able to keep them off of the mascot, probably could have maybe done something, but as things are, I don't think so. And they get to do another mascot next turn. Maybe they get greedy, they attack, and we can maybe sneak something with the intimidate them, but I don't know. Sure, take 6. No problem. And we find a land. Okie doke. Gotta give him the old hearts. And go on to our last game of this video. See if we can finish 6-2. Alright, match 8. The final match against the Canadian Bear. And okay, opening hand looks fine. We're gonna hit the 3rd land on turn 3 and smash with Bugbear. It's gonna happen. Alright, well, definitely attacking. So surprised at that. But if they're playing, they're going to be playing a whole bunch of other X1s, so it might be worth it for them to get that Fireblade off the field now, so I can't snipe something else out later. Oh, this is a pretty good attack. I would love a land off the top again, so then I can go Hulking Bugbear and Frostbite something, and that's going to be quite the aggression. Sure. Don't have a follow-up. Don't have another... Oh. Alright, so that's like best case scenario for our opponent. I think we can never win this game now from this position. If they just let this damage through, I can't believe that. For reals? For reals. Oh, okay, it's fine. I clicked on the wrong thing. The Clarion Spirit and the other Spirit switch positions, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I would have certainly have taken the full 6 damage there and just cluttered the board with spirits. Yeah, imagine if they had another 2/2 and another spirit. Like, there's no way I'm ever getting through on that board. And then they have the pump next turn. I think we're just dead. Just let it. Just take the damage. Alright. Keep the mountain in hand. Why not? What's the best draw for me? Probably the Battle Cry. So our Bugbear is now neutered. Can't deal damage, right? No, I can't attack or block. That's what it is. Yeah, a little unfortunate the opponent saw 3 Clarion Spirits in the top 12 of their deck. And then they had the 1-drops to complement the spirits, so... Is what it is. Still, the opponent's... Ugh. Okay. Opponent's giving me a chance, that's for sure. You block there? Really? Okay. Cool. Take it. Still a really bad position. It's amazing that we were able to get some pretty good trades, but they just, like I said, 3 Clarion Spirits, just too ideal for this matchup. Not terrible, but I'm not going to get any damage through with old Mr. Grand Master of Flowers over there. Turning off all my stuff. All right. Sure. I probably should have sacrificed him, the goblin, and blew up the portable hole there. That was a big mistake from me. Okie doke. Well, that's a kind of a lame way to end this video, but hey, it is what it is. Let's go to a wrap up. All right, so the budget goblin deck actually performed very well. Ended up going 5-3, losing to mono white, mono green. No surprise on either of those losses because both of those decks are just super strong right now in the format. And then also to the Orzhov Learn deck, which I think could have gone a little bit better for me if I had gone first and they weren't able to get to that mascot exhibition on the turn that he did. It was close. It ended up being pretty good back and forth, I think, but still lost it in the end. Still going 5-3 with a very budget deck, only 2 rares, and the 2 rares are cards that you should have in your collection because of the intro decks or whatever they call them. Again, the upgrade for this deck, pretty awesome. Throwing in the Hobgoblin, Bandit Lord, 4 copies, probably taking out the Hulking Bugbear. I would be doing that, and then I would certainly be throwing in Relic Robber. I think it's a very good 2/2 for 3 with haste, and it leaves that little rock behind that just does continuous damage, a little bit of reach, and can be very annoying for the opponents to deal with. I think Morningstar is a little bit soft in my opinion. You know, it's definitely something that you could cut for the Relic Robber, go a little bit higher CMC overall. I also think the Trash Master, although it is a Lord, at 4 CMC, it's not ideal for this deck, and maybe a card that I would cut for the Relic Robber. And then Den of the Bugbear and Faceless Haven, you can put varying numbers of those in for some snow-covered mountains. I'm not exactly sure if you want to put all 4 Faceless Havens in the deck or 4 Den of the Bugbear, maybe 2 and 2, 3 and 2, split, something like that. But that's something to mess around with and try to figure out the ideal build once you've decided to commit to a deck like this and throw in some of your rare wildcards. Still, just keeping it as a budget deck the way it is certainly fine. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Just run over your opponents. You're going to rank up very quickly if you end up using this for the ladder on reset in I think it's in a few hours, in fact. Should be resetting in 5 hours. So if that's your plan, I highly recommend trying it out. Fun deck. It's traditional goblins. What's not to love about going wide and slamming face? Anyways, see you in the next one. Take care for now. Bye bye.